Merry meet and welcome to Lex Dragon Queen Magic. I'm Taylor and today is our Divine Masculine Collective reading. So this reading is for if you're balancing out the two energies within yourself, or if you are trying to check in with a twin flame connection. There definitely is going to be a message for you here today. With that, let's go ahead and get started. So today we do have two God cards coming out for us. We have Integral Philosopher, I Bring Myself Out. And you may want to pause to further embody and engage with this energy. And then we also have Mentor coming out. Mentorship is a vital part of my life. And then again, you may want to pause to further embody and engage with this energy. Now, what is really coming through for me within regards to both of these cards is the fact that you have a very special skill and you have been learning and thinking a lot, and you have made yourself into a student for so long that you personally, I'm seeing that most of us here probably have a mentor that we look up to, but it is now time for you to surpass that mentor and to take your step forward, and you are now meant to become a mentor. So there is a little bit of a transgression happening at this time, and you are at the core of it. I apologize if you can hear construction in the background. Just really builds up that whole building the person that you are right now, huh? Anyways, and so right now Spirit is asking you to go ahead and understand exactly how far you've come and work to understand exactly how you have brought yourself out and manifested the being that you wanted to be. And now it's time for you to share that person more with your external world. And so if you do have a mentor who you're very close with, that is a perfect place to start and ask them that, or not ask them, but tell them that you are ready for this next step on your journey. You're ready to take on your own mentees and how to really start putting that out there. A lot of times they're going to be able to offer you some guidance even further. So just because you are becoming a mentor doesn't mean that you lose your mentor. Most of the time it actually just means that you become closer friends with your mentor, in my opinion, and that you are then further able to understand exactly how much they've done for you and appreciate them further. And so again, this is just a beautiful level up for you because you have put in the hard work and understanding exactly what you bring to the table. Okay, and now getting into our tarot. First, we do have the Two of Pentacles coming out. So I really love this card right now for us because this is a card about balance. This is a card about balancing between the practicality and the spirituality. So something too that is really coming through is that this really is going to be for a lot of our spiritual work. What? A lot of our spiritual workers. And so this is telling me too that you are, in regards to your divine masculine energy, you really have been putting yourself out there to the point where you have achieved this balance. And it may seem like you're juggling, but that is part of balancing, right? Is sometimes you have to throw something up into the air so that you can catch the next thing, and it is just that constant state of flow. And so that is again why this is a natural step up, because you are simply just going into the next phase. I'm hearing too like you're being given another juggling ball, and so with that you are going to start to really understand more. You're going to build a community around you too, is really what I'm hearing. So if you have been feeling lonely, or if you have been feeling misunderstood, then you're going to start seeing, especially within your students, the similarities, and you're going to find a soul tribe that really connects and understands you. So a lot of this is really like, great job you for all the work that you have put in developing this side of yourself. And then going further into it, we do have Four of Swords. So this is very interesting. The main message I'm getting from this though is actually that this is instead of a time to be alone, this is more about the fact that you have rested, or you have healed from your grief. So Four of Swords obviously comes after the Three of Swords, our grief card. And so with that, we're really seeing that you are instead facing the fact that I'm trying to say this right. Essentially, you're not being prompted to like, you need to take time for yourself and be alone, but more it's about the fact that you have taken the rest and reprieve that you need in order to heal from that grief that you have gone through. So if you have been in a lot of pain, if this juggling moment has seemed very difficult, this is your sigh of relief to say, hey, I've done it, I've made it, I've gone through the hard part, and now I'm just living my life. And that's what's beautiful right now. And moving further into it, we do have the Chariot. So yes, you do still have this beautiful energy of, I need to keep moving forward. I need to keep seeing exactly the next steps and follow the life plan that I have put out before me. So again, you are, and this is also a balance card. So you have balance between the two sides of yourself in order to move forward. You are no longer focused on your end goal to where you lose sight of yourself, to where you lose sight of one aspect of yourself over the other. You are, I'm hearing there is a little bit of compromise, but you're not really compromising yourself. So if you are with a partner, right, there is a twin flame. This is a twin flame reading. So if you and your partner have been balancing yourselves, and I'm also hearing you have taken that reprieve in order to understand yourself more fully, to bring out that balance into your partner as well. And so you guys are moving forward towards where you want to go, but now you're more focused on each other rather than the end goal. You're more focused on the present. And so with that, you're still moving forward. It just isn't as obvious. That's why you're being encouraged to take this next step into mentoring. So something too that's coming through in regards to mentoring with your partner is, if you maybe had a mentor that was supporting you and your partner, then this is something too that you can support others in, and that there is probably someone close to you who is suffering in regards to what you have gone through with your soulmate, and that they themselves are also kind of working through this. There is going to be some guidance needed from you in regards to this new soul tribe that you are building. All right, and then last tarot, we do have the Page of Pentacles. So yes, you are living in the present, but you do still have a to-do list of things that you're working on. And this is a reminder from Spirit that you can take it slow and steady. You do not need to move out of this Four of Swords energy. You don't, even though you are moving forward, you are focused on the present and you're taking things as they come, not necessarily reactionary. You are very aware and you are thinking of the future. That's why things are going slow, because you have already put down your intentions, what you wanted for the future, and so now you're focused on the present. And so it may seem like the future is just all of a sudden arriving, but the reality is that you've prepared for these. You've thought of these things ahead of time, and you've already got your list, and so you have really put down the foundations that you need in order to have this energy moving forward. So also, if you do not have a to-do list that you have been working on, I'm also hearing a honey to-do list. So there's something around working with your partner and in regards to what you do want to build, and just checking in with what you have already put on your list, where you want it to go, and see how far you have gone. And don't necessarily pay attention to how much further you have to go, but just celebrate where you are at now. Okay, that's a very big message, is to celebrate where you're at now, because you are leveling up and you have gotten quite a bit done. And this is just a card that you can take the time that you need to in order to do this. This also is a card letting us know that you have made the connections that you needed to, and you're really seeing how point A gets you to point B to get you to point C, when all you used to do was look at point Z. Okay, so next we do have our Pegasus Oracle today, and we have the Pegasus of Vega coming out. And I love this too, because this is actually 27, which can also be 9. And so that is telling us that you, again, are at the end of a cycle. And also this card can be very similar to the Death card. So you are going through some internal changes. So right now too, if there's anything that doesn't make sense to you anymore, you are now being encouraged to go ahead and let it go. So maybe you've outgrown that mentor too, and that's why you're able to take this next step up. Again, whoever your mentor is, they should support you in taking that step up, because the goal was never to keep you underneath them, right? And so just recognize again how much you have brought yourself out, and continue to express yourself. Do not close yourself off simply because the external world maybe doesn't agree with you quite yet. That means that you are just shifting your focus, your energy away from what no longer makes sense. So anything, and I'm also seeing it, so there's, I mean, this is, Vega is a star system, of course, but I was noticing the star in here too. So this is a message that you have gone through the healing. You have found the radiance that you need to in order to move forward, and you have really put in the work. That is a very big message here. You have done the healing that you need to. You are simply on to the next stage. Something too coming through is you may feel uncomfortable right now, or you've been uncomfortable for a while, but that's because you've been growing your comfort zone so much that every time you get comfortable, you take a step out to where you're uncomfortable again. But your comfort zone, again, if you look back, you will see that your comfort zone is significantly larger than it used to be, and that is something to celebrate. And so yes, you can take that break. You can take a step back and look at the home front and recognize just how far you have come, because you have brought yourself out into this moment. Alright, and then next we do have a Rumi Oracle card before we get into some more messages. And so we do have passion for purpose, number 2. Love like life flows through the heart, feel the thrill of the flow and say nothing. Rumi. Do you yearn to find your way, to fulfill your divine destiny, to know the purpose for your presence within the sacred body of the Earth Mother? Your heart is questing for deeper meaning. It desires certainty as to your sacred task for this lifetime. Your heart wants to know why you were born, for what purpose. You must know that the answer to these questions is love. I bring you your answers straight from the heart of the universe. Be wild within your passion. Do that which stirs your souls, even when it makes you uncomfortable. Especially then, for what is truly alive if not a decision to be open instead of resistant, to be wild rather than comfortable, so that at any moment we will be ready for the invitation of the divine beloved to come closer. I call to you now that you I call to you now the you that is beyond your mind, the you that the heart knows, the you that cannot deny life. To that you, I ask this question: what stirs the passions of your nature? Do that. Be that. As we grow on the spiritual path, so too does our ability to serve life, to serve love, to honor humanity, and to offer a contribution that is unique to us, that could only flow in this particular way through the quality of our own soul light. Every light holds its own beauty, and every light has a particular task to fulfill on the divine path of life. To remember us this way, to help us remember this way, lest we get too easily distracted by the pain and stress that happens in life, we were given an inbuilt reminder. That reminder is our passion. We may think that passion is not particularly practical. We may feel fearful that with passion there are no guarantees of success, or that we may even be throwing away a stable and secure life to pursue our passion. These are the fears of many a modern society, yet they are so misplaced. Life supports all beings based on their true nature. The birds are given air in which to fly, and fish are given water in which to swim. Plants are given light of the open plains or darkness of the damp forest, depending on their needs for growth. Different flowers flourish in different environments. Bees have wings that are very small, but powerful enough to move with such speed and rotation that their heavy bodies can fly. Each aspect of creation is given what it requires so it may become what it is meant to be, for its unique destiny to be fulfilled. So it is with humanity. Each one of us has something in our hearts that means something to us. It is irrelevant whether it seems practical or a recipe for success or not. We are simply meant to be what we are, to serve life faithfully from a place of honoring the truth of our nature, that which we genuinely feel passionate about, and to allow for life to naturally support growth according to our genuine nature. Where we get into difficulty is not in bringing our genuine passions to life, for life supports this, but in learning to let go of attachment as to how that happens. We can struggle to free ourselves of the expectation we have to be something we are not. The divine path of love asks us to become conscious of and then unlearn the play-acting and attempting to be a false self, so that we may learn to simply love and accept our real self. We may even have a struggle in our hands to remember who our real self actually is for a time. Fortunately, there is pleasure in the journey of returning to passion that can make the process of self-discovery a sweet one. But we must be brave. Even in the sweetness of that journey back to the real self, we must dare to believe that we are not broken, that we are not inadequate or better off to be like some other person, or some other person's view of how they think we should be. We must be brave enough not to believe in the layers of guilt and shame. We must be bold enough not to fear our passion as we dive deep within and explore what really is making us tick, what makes us feel alive. We must be open, curious, and non-judgmental. That may be a subtle journey at first. We may feel as though we are looking in the dark, wondering if we will ever catch a glimpse of the light of passionate meaning we hope to find. That passionate purpose may at first be barely recognizable amongst all the should, cannot, or must do of our lives. As we stay true to the path, however, the light will become unmistakably clear. Our passion will reveal itself to us as essential as our breath. We would feel as though we are not alive without it. How could we have missed it all those years, perhaps all those lifetimes? It will seem so obvious then, burning so clear in our hearts that it cannot be more obvious, that we simply must live this desire, this passion, this purpose, or else spiritually perish into a shriveled up shell of a person, denying life of itself. No, that shall not be. Passion must and shall prevail. This oracle comes to you with guidance. You are being initiated more deeply into your life purpose. Your passion will reveal itself to you with more depth, nuance, and beauty than ever before. If parts of your life are disassembling or do not seem to be working out as you had planned. These are symptoms of this passionate revelation. Be curious and open to what presents itself in the wake of falling away. Be ready for the journey within now. You are strong enough to leave behind the need for external validation, whilst you learn to validate yourself. In time, soon enough, in fact, you shall reveal your innermost beauty and be witnessed and received, acknowledged for your innate value, purpose, and divinity. But for now, sweet beloved, dive deep, be defiant and determined to honor your heart so your deep passion may be witnessed by you, eventually, naturally, make its way into sacred expression in the world. If you have recently discovered a new talent or purpose, or have been dreaming some big dreams, this oracle comes to you with guidance and confirmation. You are excited. Follow that excitement. Let it lead you into your own heart truth and onto an ever more passionate path of purposeful living. Sacred honoring ritual. Sit with one hand on your belly and one hand at your heart. Say the following aloud. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, brother of my soul, guardian of my heart, help me witness, receive, and express the divine depth of my passionate purpose. With merciful grace, help me know my life purpose and fulfill my unique divine destiny this lifetime. May I be gifted with the ability to consciously recognize the guiding hand of love on my journey, that I may serve that same hand through passionate and purposeful existence, surrendered into the greater passionate purpose of the universal heart. So be it. Sit quietly and imagine or intend that energy from the universal heart of love is flowing in through the back of your heart now, circulating between your belly and your heart. Any excess or old energy flows out through the back of your heart as a beautiful energy of love streams into your being. Stay with this gentle process for as long as it feels right for you. You may feel emotion, sexual energy, or nothing much at all. Whatever happens or does not appear to happen is perfect for you at this time. Trust, let it be. So very beautiful coming out, especially since our main card was about bringing yourself out and letting go of all what no longer serves you. So definitely, and with our Pegasus card, so definitely understanding how much you have gone through the process of leveling up your internal self, that now you're going to start recognizing that in the external as well. Recognizing too that it is still your decisions. It is still all about how you have found a passion for life, how you have come into being this perfectly human and divine person all at the same self. So with that, today we do have some dream cards. So first we have, things often don't work out as planned. Let things appear just as they do and be sure to notice how they unfold perfectly. So this is a very big message, because this has come through, I want to say 3 times today in this reading, is that things will not go exactly as you planned. And that's why it's so important to just let things naturally come to you as they are meant to, and to recognize them for what they are. And to just really understand that maybe the way that you had planned something, it's more important about the intention that you set at the beginning rather than how the steps got messy. Okay? And then the other one that we have though is gratitude opens the door to all the good life has to offer. Be grateful often for what you have and you will receive more to be grateful for. So exactly what I was saying, like just look at how you're receiving and open yourself into that gratitude moment and recognizing exactly how that has truly answered your prayer in this moment. And then we do actually have messages of closure, which as you know, I picked these decks ahead of time. So it really goes along with the fact that there are things shedding away from your life in this moment. There are parts of yourself that are shedding away that maybe you weren't fully ready to let go, but you have moved through that grief. You have moved into a place where you are solid and stable and ready to let go of those moments. You're ready to take that next step, even if you're leaving behind the step before. So that may seem a silly metaphor, but if you think about it, when you are taking a step up, you are no longer on that step and you are leaving that lower step behind, and that is still a change within all of us. And yes, this metaphor can be big or small, so however you need that to resonate, just think on that for a little bit about what it means to leave that step behind, but you are gaining ground. Okay. And so we do have a closure. I didn't mean what I said. So if you have been held back because of something that someone told you, this is time to recognize that maybe they just weren't in the best place to understand exactly what you were going through. And again, this is why you're meant to leave it alone, because they just didn't mean what they said. You can take that however it resonates, but you can't control how they said it, the fact that it was already said. And when they come back to you. So this is a moment to just recognize that any pain that you have held on in regards to, or not pain, but any restrictions that you've placed on yourself because of what someone else has said, it is time to let that go. And then I projected my unhappiness on you. Okay, so this definitely feels like it's probably from the same person. So someone who didn't want you to move on, someone who didn't want to see you happy and successful because they felt like they were being left behind. And so this is a very big message, because it's important for you to know that you have no control over that person's life. You have no control over how that person receives information and how they lead their life. You can only control how you lead your life. So if you aren't able to move forward with that person, that is not your fault. It just means that you're at different stages of your life. And so for some of you here, this may even be a partner that you are possibly thinking that you may need to step away from, because you've recognized either one, that they're not your twin flame, or two, you're going into a twin flame separation and you have to go into your own journeys and understand yourselves before coming back together, because you've already done a lot of that internal work and now you are no longer resonating with that individual. And so as much as you are a bright light within their life, it is time for you to recognize that they are dragging you down. They are pulling you not just to stay on the current step, but to be lower than them. And you are worth so much more. You are worth being at a different place than them. And so do not feel held back by this person. Do not let someone else's words hold you back. You are the only person who gets to make decisions for your life. You are the only person who gets to take that step forward when you are ready to take it forward. So also something I want to say with this that's coming through, if you are still scared and don't want to take that step away, you can start with a very small step. You can also anything that is meant for you is not going to pass you. So Spirit is saying right now that you are at a time, a moment where you can take this level up if you want to, but if you still need to hit that pause, save that game before you go into this next phase, because you just need to stay further in this resting energy and take it slow, then that is okay. That is something also coming through from Spirit, is the fact that this next stage is going to be slow. You are still moving slowly, and they are encouraging you, the fact that you are building up this stamina, you are building up this endurance. So don't be frightened by how you're moving forward within life, but if you do need to take time, then you can take that time, because the way that you want your path to move forward is perfectly meant for you. Remember, your passion is coming out, so if you need to just dip your toes in something that you're learning and understanding, but there's so much that could go, it could go so many different ways, then that's okay. Just understand, play in the shallow pools before you go full out and dive into an ocean. So this is just because this is a collective reading, you want to make sure that you are working exactly what makes sense to you, because that is the main message coming through here, is that you have done this work for yourself. No one can hold you back, and no one can take that step forward unless you let them. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, we do have our acts of kindness. So we just had one come out, and so this is just something to really help support you in aligning more within Spirit, as well as to drive home this message. So this is not a requirement, just merely a suggestion. Oh, perfect. So today we have share something that lifts you up to encourage others. So this really just is a nice little way to dip your toe into becoming a mentor as well, because that is what a mentor does, is they take the knowledge that they have and they share it with others. So something that makes you happy, you simply need to share that with others, and that is your first step in knowing what it means to be and feel like a mentor. So with that, my divine masculines, I'm going to go ahead and leave the reading here. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for liking and subscribing and being with me for so long. Please do not forget to comment below, and I will respond to you as I see them. With that, blessed be.